You have been carrying something that was never put on your shoulders by me. It has no name tag. It has no due date. It just sits there, heavier every year, until you forgot there was ever a version of you who walked without it. It is not the laundry pile. It is not the inbox with 400 unread messages. It is not the calendar that runs your week like a factory line. It is the other thing, the one underneath all of that. The one you have stopped noticing because you have never once set it down long enough to feel how heavy it actually is. So before you reach for your phone, before the next notification pulls your eyes away, stay here with me for 30 minutes. I am not going to ask anything of you. I am going to tell you the truth. Long ago I said this to every tired, overloaded person who would listen. Come to me and I will give you rest. I did not say your mortgage would be paid off tomorrow. I did not say the diagnosis would disappear or the marriage would mend itself overnight. I said I would meet you inside it, not after it. You have been treating your worst seasons like a verdict. They are not. They never were. I see the version of you that sits in the car in the driveway for an extra 2 minutes before going inside, just to breathe before you have to be fine, for everyone waiting on the other side of that door. I see you rehearsing tomorrow's to-do list at 2 a.m. while your body is exhausted and your mind refuses to stop working. There is a parent among you who is sure the kids deserved a calmer house than the one you gave them. There is a business owner who poured 5 years into something that folded anyway, and quietly decided that the failure of the company was the verdict on their worth as a person. There is someone who showed up faithfully for a relationship that still ended, and has spent months wondering what was so wrong with them that love walked out the door. None of you are strangers to me. I know the exact weight you are carrying, down to the ounce, the student loan balance you check with a knot in your stomach, the parent in assisted living you cannot visit as often as you'd like, the promotion that went to someone else for the 3rd year in a row. Here is the first true thing, and it is gentler than you expect. I am not standing across the room with my arms crossed, waiting for you to carry it more impressively. My arms have been open the entire time you were bracing. The weight does not sit the same on every back, so let me name a few of you specifically. There is the one driving carpool, answering work email at every red light, smiling at school pickup while privately falling apart. There is the one who got laid off and has told no one, not even their spouse, how much that loss gutted them. There is the one managing a body that no longer cooperates. Chronic pain, a new diagnosis, a hospital bracelet still in the kitchen drawer. There is the one who buried someone they loved and went back to work 3 days later because that's what the calendar said to do, and the grief never got its own appointment. And there is the one who is simply tired in a way no one throws a fundraiser for, just a low, constant hum of holding on. I am near every one of you in the very same breath. Unclench your jaw if it's been set all day. Most people don't notice they've been bracing for a blow that isn't coming. Let your shoulders drop an inch. Let your back teeth come apart. That small release is not nothing, it's your body remembering, for half a second, that it is allowed to put something down. Notice what has happened to your days. You measure them now by how well you carried the weight. A good day is one where the load didn't knock you flat. A bad day is one where it did. But hear what that quietly means. The burden has become the center of your life. You wake up and check whether it's still there before you check anything else, before you check on the people you love, before you even open your eyes all the way. You fall asleep rehearsing tomorrow's portion of it. Somewhere in there, you stopped living a life and started managing a weight. And the weight became the thing you serve. I did not lay that yoke on you. The world did. The culture that tells you to rise and grind did. The feed that shows you everyone else's highlight reel while you're living your blooper reel did. Your own fear did, the one that whispers that if you ever loosen your grip, everything collapses, and the collapse will be your fault. There's a tiredness sleep does not touch. You know the one. You can get a full 8 hours and still wake up with your hands already curling around the invisible thing. That's not a body problem. That's a soul carrying too much that was never its to carry. A kid in the back seat is not failing because she can't reach the gas pedal. She's a child. The driving was always meant to be someone else's job. And here is the part of the lie that has cost you the most. It taught you that you have to earn the right to set the weight down. Somewhere deep inside, you believe rest is the prize handed out to people who have finished. And since you're never finished, there's always one more email, one more bill, one more thing the house needs. You suspect you may never get to rest. So even in a quiet hour, you can't actually use it. You sit in the stillness scanning for the next thing you should be doing, half convinced that being at peace before the work is done would be a kind of cheating. Listen closely. Rest is not the wage paid out at the end of the carrying. It is the gift offered at the start. The permission is not arriving later, after one more push. It is here, in this moment, the second you're willing to receive it. You weren't born braced like this. There was a younger version of you who set things down without a second thought, who cried and was comforted, who messed something up and forgot about it by dinner. Then, slowly, across years, something shifted. Maybe love showed up in your house with a price tag attached, and you learned that to be safe you had to be useful, and to be loved you had to be impressive. Maybe a job taught you that your value is your output. Maybe a person or several people made it plain that your worth was something you had to keep re-earning every single day. So you started carrying. You picked up the weight of proving yourself, and you have not set it down since, because nobody ever told you that with me. There is nothing left to prove. The world has its own answer to a heavy load, and it has trained you well. Carry it better, get more organized, build a system, optimize the way you suffer so you can at least suffer efficiently. So you've spent years getting good at carrying the very thing I've been longing to take from you. People admire how much you hold, how you never seem to drop anything. And their admiration becomes one more strap, because now you can't set it down without disappointing somebody. Do you feel the trap? The world rewards you for carrying what is crushing you, and calls your slow exhaustion a virtue. I do not. I have never once asked you to be strong. I have asked you to come. Somewhere along the way, you were handed a version of God who keeps score: wins in one column, losses in another, watching the bottom line to decide whether you're worth showing up for. You may never say that out loud. You may not even know you believe it. But it lives in your stomach, that quiet math. The sense that you're standing with me rises and falls with your last result. That math is not mine. It never was. I do not run a ledger on the people I love. Think about what a scoreboard actually does to a person. It turns every hour of your life into a test you can pass or fail. It makes rest feel dangerous because resting means you're not earning, and not earning means the number is slipping. It makes you compare your life to the family down the street, the coworker who got the raise, the friend whose marriage looks easier than yours. None of that came from me. I didn't give you a life so you could spend it watching a number climb and fall. I gave you a life so you could be held inside it, and from that holding, love the people in front of you with hands that aren't clenched around your own worth. Consider what I actually do when you fall, because the scoreboard has lied to you about that too. The day you fail, really fail, the kind you'd never say out loud, I do not back away. I do not write it in a column. Y come closer. That's the part the hard voices never told you, because they could not imagine a love that moves toward the failure instead of away from it. But that is the only kind of love I have ever had for you. When you are at your lowest, most disappointed in yourself, most certain you have finally proven you're exactly the failure you feared, that is the moment my arms open furthest, because that's the moment you most need to be held. The hardest day of your life is not the day I am most disappointed in you. It is the day I am closest to you. The picture of God you have been bowing under was painted by people who were not me. Some of them loved you and simply never knew me well. They handed you what they were carrying, and what they were carrying was a God shaped like the harshest voice from their own childhood. Others used my name to keep you small, to keep you working, to keep you afraid enough to obey. Whichever it was, that picture is false. The true one has never weighed your tears to decide whether you cried enough to deserve comfort. The true one has only been waiting for you to lower the scoreboard so you can finally be held.